And you were at my last session on Google Plus, Google Analytics.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Sheldon did a regular Google one, now we're on to Google Plus since that seemed to be a big hit. And if you never heard him speak, he was very popular last time, so I'll let him do his job and see how happy. And there's surveys on your desk, just make sure you fill them out and leave them with Brenda when you leave. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. So I work for a company called Dex Digital. We give a lot of great free information. So this is by no means going to be a sales pitch. We don't even offer a Google Plus product. This is all just news that you can use. But here's a good idea of what we do around the country. I just got back from doing this with Google and Yahoo and Bing in Arizona. This was the Amway Center in last year.
The most useful information I got was about online presence and search engine marketing. I think we really learned a lot about that today and hope to apply that.
The ultimate result is revenue coming in. Because if you knew, would you do more of that? Absolutely. So it's all
I've
about
seen him somewhere before.
testing
I was just going to say, I think
Anyone
I
in here
recognize
this
him
morning?
somewhere.
and then replicating what works. That's how we grow, isn't it?
I am individually and corporately Google certified, but that really doesn't matter. What's important from an organizational perspective is that Dex, come on in, Dex is Google's premier SMB partner, small business partner. There's only 15, now 14 of those in the US, and we're the top partner. All that means is, and nobody has a super speed dial to Google to figure things out. But what this relationship means is that we have an unprecedented degree of technological support directly from Google. We then in turn use that to optimize our systems and share that value with each of you. Make sense? So my mission, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll get you in just one second, but thanks for coming, is to bring as much digital strategy, return on investment concepts as possible to every small business and mid-sized business owner that I meet. That's what we'll be showing you about today, most specifically as it pertains to Google+. Okay? Okay, well the burning question I can just feel is, did you bring some snacks?
No.
No. Session's over, folks. That's it. We're leaving. We're done. Well, thank you for sharing that. And it's actually a common thread. I hear it almost all the time. Are you using this? Well, I think so. Maybe I tried it. Didn't quite work out. So we're going to go through Google+, high level down to a low level, so that we have a better understanding of exactly what it is and what it isn't, so that as individual business owners, we can understand how much value this particular medium can bring to our particular business. Because what works for you, sir, may not work for you, and vice versa, because we have different applications, we have different clientele, we have different modes of business. Does that make sense? That's really what this is all about. Some may want you to believe that Google Plus is the be-all and end-all, the future evolution, the cybernetic organism of being online, that it has surpassed and has beaten or will beat Facebook. That's up for debate. The point is, since we all have different clientele, one can't say that Facebook is over here. Make sense? It's all individual, which is why there is no silver bullet, folks. Google Plus is not a silver bullet, Facebook is not a silver bullet, Twitter is not a silver bullet. Neither is a website a silver bullet. How you use all of them together as a strategy is what Barry Maltz mentioned, incrementally over time gets you where you want to be, which is more engaged clientele that are finding you and selecting you online versus your competitors. Make sense? Google Plus has gained over 10 million new users each month since it started. Facebook started off much slower than that. So a lot of people say, well, then Google Plus has to be better, right? No, because back in 2004, we barely knew what social media was about. It was in its infancy. By the time Google Plus started, we were already used to tweeting and liking and posting and spending like almost 7 hours a day on Facebook.
A month.
Well, I'm sorry, per month. Some employees do it per day. We use what's called WebSense at Dex, so we know whether or not someone's spending 7 hours a day or a month. But the point is, we were more used to it. So when another medium came about, we were very happy to jump on board and try this new thing out. That's one of the reasons why they gained so many users. So if they go to your site, which you just mentioned, Al, that you put Google Plus on your site, I'm guessing the icon, and we can take a look at it later. But when they go to your site and they read some material on your site, when they go to Google Plus, they're going to write a fair bit more than the average Facebook user. Now that can be a good or a bad thing, depends on if they like what they read. Make sense? But at least we have an understanding of what they're going to do. The key to all of this, the reason that Google Plus should be an important factor in your business to some degree is the fact that on average, if you use a Google AdWords campaign, meaning pay per click, you can see a 5 to 10% increase or uplift in your click-through rate. That adds up significantly over time, doesn't it? It's a lot. Especially when you consider the value of a socially aligned or a socially enhanced click as opposed to just a regular search. Google will enhance their ad to show that, by the way, 706,870 people plus one, which is like a like, or follow late rooms. So if you're seeing this, do you have a little bit of more comfort? Almost 750,000 other people like them. So I might just check you out. Does that make sense? 250,000 of other people checked you out and are following you. I feel okay by at least just checking you out. It's worth a click to me. That's where you get that extra 5 to 10% from. Powerful stuff. Please.
Do you have the link on Twitter?
Fundamentally speaking, this changes the way the search engine result page looks to people. I'll show you what I mean. Here's another search. I'm sorry that it's a little bit small on this screen, but this is just a search for just Marvel. And again, there's no AdWords here, there's no pay-per-click here. This is just your website showing up naturally because somebody searched for something that's to do with your business. Okay? Because, and I'll blow this up, because Marvel has a following and they're using Google Plus, Google fills in, again on the right-hand side of the page, more information about that organization and what their recent activities are in Google Plus. Make sense? This has fundamentally changed the way the Google result page works, which is why Google Plus is becoming a serious addition to most organizations' marketing arm. So now you have your Google Plus page personal, you've created your Google Plus business page, and as a result you get some pretty neat things. You can see as a business how many people are following you. You're also able to see, and this is critical for any location-based business, you can see for everyone who's following you or who pulls up directions, you can see those people who are actually trying to find you, who have pulled up directions and where they're coming from. You can't see it here, but it actually shows 103 people looked up directions, and here's the percentage broken down by city. But talk about getting to know your market better. Wouldn't it be interesting to be able to see when someone pulls you up, gets directions to come to your place of business, you can see on average the percentage of where they came from. So wouldn't it be interesting 6 months from now, and let's just assume for a second that we're based in St. Cloud, that a large portion of your business was coming from Winter Park? Would that potentially affect the way you market to Winter Park going forward? It may not have been on your radar. You can also see the top searches that brought your profile up for someone to see. Because remember again, now, people who are using Gmail, and there's millions of them, people using Gmail can follow you right from Gmail now. So if you send an email to somebody, as an example, which we should hopefully be collecting email addresses, if you send them an email there on Gmail, they can click and follow your business without having to take any extra steps, because we're all lazy, right? We don't want to have to, I have to click 5 times to follow you? Forget it. Right in their email. Click and follow. That's one of the most significant Google enhancements to Google Plus so far. But like I mentioned, it's all in the data. So you can see how many actions people are taking on your business profile page. how many people are finding you, how many views, etc. Because that's what it's all about. Whatever meeting you have, Google Plus or aside, it's all about if you put your shingle out there, how many people see it, how many people stop to actually really take a look at it, and how many people take action on it, right? Those three items are what help you determine what you should do going forward. It's all right here in your dashboard. The creme de la creme of understanding what people do with your profile. When you're posting on Google Plus, when someone actually takes or views what you put out, you can see exactly what they've done. So what's a +1? I've been sort of talking about it. A +1 is very close to a Facebook like. But again, the circles are what give us the control. Right? And this is really where Google's been shining as opposed to any other medium out there. Because again, you get to share the right content with the right people only when you choose to do so. It's not a shotgun approach to everybody. Circles allows people to filter out all of the junk and all of the noise. I can create an important circle. So these can actually overlap, okay? So I have my important circle, or I've got all these groups right here. I've got a group here, which this is family. I've got a group over here, which is work. I've got a group over here, which are not people I work with, but the people I associate with for business, or they're colleagues. And then I have I've got users all over the place, right? These are all people inside my circle. But these people here, just these three of these group are in my, this is a bad pen, are in my important circle. See how this overlaps? Kind of looks like Picasso's rendition of the Olympic rings, right? But you see that? Does that make sense? I have a family circle, I have a colleague circle, I have a work circle, then I have my important people circle. So clearly that's my wife. And that is true. Google Plus is just getting started. Question? No, please.